Oh, Baldy. That's right. The legend himself who said it first. All right, all these other people, he said it from the beginning. And he said it matter-of-factly. Good afternoon, Baldy.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Good to be with you.
Where are you right now?
I got back to Jersey. I got to do a show here at NFL today. And
I
then
thought that was your
LA.
house.
I'm at the Villa Travel Dog right here. But
Was that the globe room? You got a globe behind you, a globe on the wall? I like it.
that's my world travel map. I'm
Nice.
getting ready to go to my 69th country here. So, I just like to put a pin on the different places I've been.
Oh, hell
So,
yeah.
Yeah. No, just getting ready. Travel season starts next week. So, I'm just kind of in that frame of mind right now. But no, because honestly, when we talk, I remember when the seedings came out, that Sunday night, January 5th, that Sunday night after the last game finished. And I saw, the Eagles, okay, playing Green Bay. And you kind of asked me, like, well, 4-0, like, what about Detroit? And I'm like, what about Detroit? Their defense doesn't, intimidate me at all. But, even if it was Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, it didn't matter. I just thought they were the best team. And I didn't want to blink. And I didn't want to overthink it. You study these games every week. You watch all 18 weeks of games, and you see, these teams kind of go up and down or whatever. And, since the bye week, and since they kind of really figured out what works in Philadelphia, I didn't think, and then you see the development of Nolan Smith and Cooper DeJean along the way, and you see how the defense really fits with what Vic wants. I'm like, that's the best team. And so I didn't waver on it.
What's interesting is that when you match it up with Kansas City, I mean, listen, and we, how close we are all to Andy and Steve and that whole crew. And all due respect to them, the Eagles I think, are substantially better than Kansas City because of their fronts.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when you match up both sides of the ball, it comes out of the Eagles, Baldy.
No. I mean, that's where the difference is. It's in the trenches. And, Patrick Mahomes this year was sacked more than he's ever been sacked before. We know they had problems at left tackle, and they had to change two positions to fix one. Nobody really ever wants to do that.
Right.
You look at them and what teams are doing on the ground against them. Buffalo, I'm sure they have some nightmares about not feeding James Cook earlier in that game. He took the game over at some point. They have not been great against the run. They have a formula. They'll put their big linebackers out there. They'll put Tranquil and Bolton and Leo Chenal out there and drop down Justin Reed. They'll build their box. But, the Eagles see an 8-man box every week. They know how to counter that. They know the patience that Saquon has. And he's had 2 weeks to get ready for this thing. He won a big award last night. I think he's going to have a good game. I don't know if he's going to do what he did to the Rams, in 2 different games or some of these other teams, but I think he's going to have a good game against them.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is the Eagles run best out of 11 personnel, and that gives the Chiefs problems. The Chiefs are toward the bottom third of the league
It's like they're 24th.
against the rush
24th.
in 11 personnel. They're top 7 against 12 personnel. So they can match up with you if you're going double tights, but the Eagles don't do that.
No, I mean, they have Goddard. And Goddard's really the X factor in this game. Because if you're in 11, he's the tight end. He's an excellent strong side blocker. He's not a liability the way a lot of tight ends in this business are. And so now, and really, if you want to play Calcaterra tight end and put Goddard in the slot and have a big slot receiver rather than Dotson, you could do that as well. Or if you want to put AJ in the slot, I mean, if they get a lot of one-on-one looks, I mean, A.J. Brown should eat like he did against, the Commanders. I mean, he should have a good game. He's an elite player. I don't know, even though he's putting up good numbers and, he's a big part of this success here. Because we're not a passing team, I'm saying because the Eagles aren't a passing team, and they throw it on average 22 times a game, he doesn't put up the numbers that some of these other guys do, but he's an elite top 3 receiver in this business. And I don't care if you put Trent McDuffie out there, Jalen Watson. I don't care if you bracket him, double him. He's seen well. He caught a touchdown pass, 2 years ago against him, on double coverage. And Jalen put it up there and he caught it amongst 2 guys. So And now he's talking to everybody like, hey, I'm really healthy now. I really had a knee issue. Now I'm really back. I can really make my cuts. I can come out of my breaks. I can run people over. I think he's in a good spot, and I think he's going to have a good game.
Interesting, because I thought in the matchup that Devontae would be, because he's hurt at Kansas City before. I thought that he might be the guy. It sounds like you think that it's still going to be AJ. That Spags will man up and AJ will, will beat man coverage as he always does.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that, but I don't want to discount what Devontae is capable of doing.
Yeah.
The guy is an athletic freak. Like, nobody built like that should do the things that he does. As tough as he is, like his ability to, on the sideline to extend the field, to make a catch like he did last year. I mean, he's a rare talent. You're not the MVP of championship games at wide receiver unless you're, an elite freak type player. So he has all that ability just as well. And it's just a question of how Jalen's seeing the field on Sunday.
What do you think Spags has in store? Like, obviously, he wants to try to get in 3rd and 8s and 7s and 9s, but the Eagles aren't really. They don't get themselves rarely in that spot. So, how does he deploy his wrinkles?
Well, I don't know if he can wait on 3rd and long like you're describing, because, I mean, Jalen is not good against the ball.
Right.
It's not a secret. And so what kind of pressure can you send at Jalen to make him hold the ball, to make him move, spot? Because I don't think you can just, Amenahu's making a difference, and they can put their line out there. But if it's first down, that's a rundown for the Eagles. I don't think, you're going to run blitz to stop Saquon, perhaps. I mean, teams do that. But I think he's really going to have to be clever about how he does it and really getting inside the head of both Kellen Moore and Jalen, because Jalen does a lot at the line of scrimmage, and he's got freedom, to get out of a bad play, to get into a good play. And so, really, Spags, I don't think you just wait for 3rd and long. I don't think there's going to be enough opportunities, like you're describing, to really come after
right.
Like that. So, I think you're going to have to come out at early downs. You might have to go some zero blitzes, on first down, which is rare, but Spags can do that out of disguises. Just because what he wants is he wants to get that free hitter coming at Jalen, where it really freezes him, and he really reads the rush at times. It's a fault, but part of that is the reason why he doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah,
he plays it safe and he reads the rush.
Flip side, this is I think even more interesting, right? Which is, so you have Andy, who's obviously a master at his script and devising ways. They're the leader in the NFL with teams that throw behind the line of scrimmage. He'll work everything underneath. Vic's scheme is to keep everything underneath. He's also needs a series or two to get a beat on you, and then after that is when he's most effective. And then you have the whole Carter situation, and do you put him on Smith or do you move him down to Caliendo? How that chess match to me is the most interesting part of the game.
Well, you're right. You're right. It is. And we'll see what Andy, what kind of game plan he comes out with. But what really has made the Chiefs, special, obviously, is Mahomes and his ability to play off script. And that's what's difficult. That's what I'm sure Vic is working on more than anything, is when he does start to move, when he does step up, when he does get to that play beyond the X's and O's. And there's scramble drill fundamentals. That's what, if I was Vic, that's what I'd be working on. Yes, we've got our basic coverages. Yes, we have our basic disguises. Yes, we have our basic blitz packages. But what's more important almost than all of that is how you plaster and defend once the original play breaks down and Mahomes starts to move. Because then you gotta, are we spying Mahomes? Because he's gonna pick up 4 first downs if he starts to move, an extending drive. And then a lot of his big plays and big plays down the field come off scramble drills. And so that's really, to me, as important as anything trying to defend what Andy's going to come out of the game with in his initial script.
How do you see the Carter and that's obviously your front is your big advantage in the interior.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's largely a left defensive tackle. Last year when they played, Fletcher was there, so Jalen went both sides. He went against Tooney. He went against Trey Smith. He had the doubles with Creed Humphrey, Jawan Taylor in the run game. But he's seen just about everybody up front. But he's largely a left defensive tackle. He really doesn't move out of that spot. Milton Williams on that other side, Jordan Davis, Ajomo. He plays a lot of snaps. Now, depending on what you want to believe, flu bug, whatever has affected him at some point this week. Does it affect his energy levels, his conditioning levels? I don't know, because I don't know how to really take some of the reports that are coming out. But, it's something you have to maybe consider if he is affected by any kind of a flu bug right now.
The one aspect of the Eagles, how the Eagles like to play defensively, keeping everything in front, and the fact that Kansas City is a team that gets the ball out quickly and likes to go underneath, like they want to matriculate down the field. Does that concern you at all?
Well, I mean, you hope that your base defense can really cover the field,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got two excellent corners, and so whether they're in man or zone, I mean, they understand. They both, Slay and Quinion, they both make great breaks on the ball. You're trying to, if you're in zone, you're trying to shrink the zone. You're trying to force them to throw underneath and then go tackle the catch. I mean, I think the base defense takes away a lot of things and challenges you in a lot of ways. And so then it's just a matter of what kind of change-up. Because really, when you're looking at change-up, you have to talk Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because we seen him 2 years ago. He was a monster when Malcolm was here, just playing down in the box. And he was just, he's just that pit bull at your feet, just nipping away at you. He's excellent sifting through traffic and making those kind of plays. And so, do they utilize him in that kind of a fashion if they're trying to run the ball, or if Mahomes starts to take off, is that the guy that's going to be chasing him? Because he's really good at that.
Yeah, I'm the chess match is so interesting, Baldy. I mean that's all part of it, and they're these bigger than life. I mean, you've been around this game for a million years. Where are the Chiefs compared to the Patriots and all of the past dynasties?
Well, I mean, look, part of the dynasty was, being down in the third quarter 28-3 and coming back to beat the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes has pulled those kind of rabbits out of his hat.
Yeah.
During the stretch. And so part of your dynasty is you got to win the games that you don't have any chance to win. That's part of it. That's part of the folklore. Like that year, it's interesting. They're down 28-3. They had 283 diamonds put into the ring. 280, just to remind everybody, it was 28-3 the third quarter, and we won the game. I had a party at my house that day. I had friends that went to sleep. They're like, this is a boring game. I'm like, I ain't leaving. I'm not leaving the screen. Like, I've seen this dance before. So, I mean, we've seen Mahomes down 24-0 in a playoff game, come back and score 8 straight times in a row. So, this is, Butker, their kicking game, Dave Tobe, went to the Super Bowl with Chicago, with the Bears. When they went and played Indianapolis, Dave Tobe was a special teams coach there.
Yeah.
That kickoff return to start the game was Dave Tobe.
Yeah.
You look at Refugio right now in the kicking game, punt return, against Houston, kickoff return against Buffalo, set up 2 scores.
Yeah.
So the kicker, Butker, is the best in the league. He's good from 60. They say he can make it from 70. I've talked to Dave Tobe about it. So their kicking game is probably better than the Eagles, and it's a concern of mine. It's actually the one concern I have, is I feel like the Chiefs
special teams,
are better in the kicking game right now than the Eagles.
Yeah, and the kid, the kickoff returner is fast as all get out, man. He's another blazer that Andy found. He's a little worrisome.
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to put the ball. I mean, I would just say, okay, Mahomes starts every drive and we kick off on it the third.
Yes.
Kicking the ball in the end zone.
I agree.
Nico
Yep.
Refugio a chance.
Yes.
And then if it's in the punt game, I'm probably directionally punting it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to let him field it and have any chance because he's going to return.
Yeah.
He's not going to throw catch it.
Yes.
He has that ability about him. So, you know, in the kicking game, I'm pretty clear about what my intentions are right now when I'm kicking.
Hey, Baldy, as a casual fan, when we sit down and watch this game early on, is there anything we should look for to be like, oh, this should be a good game for the Eagles? It is like Saquon having success running the ball? Is it the D-line getting pressure on Mahomes? Like, what is one thing we should be like, all right, we should feel good as a Birds fan when they're doing this early?
If they're getting first downs early, I think it's a good sign. Whether they score or not. You know, there were games this year, they couldn't score in the first quarter. Like, it was 3 and out, 3 and out. Like, I want to see, if I'm an Eagle fan, and believe me, I flew back from New Orleans last night on a flight that was all Eagle fans coming in New Orleans. And they were like Eagle fight chants in the airport last night. I mean, if I'm an Eagle fan, I want first down. I don't care if I get the opening kickoff, if they stop Kansas City to get it on a punt. I need first downs to start. And that would, because then you're already getting into your game plan. The problem with 3 and outs to start games is you never really get your game plan started. You never get to your third down package. You never get to, you know, maybe the run that you want to get to after you set up some basic inside runs. So you can't set anything up in your playbook or in your game plan if you're just 3 and out. If I'm an Eagle fan, I want first downs, and nothing would make me happier than to see the Chiefs go 3 and out, you know, to start the game. Just get Mahomes off the field. Get him to the longer Mahomes is on that sideline, the better I feel.
And we've been talking this week just with the worries about Jake Elliott. Is there, because what are you, 4 and 5 or 4 and 4, 4th and 4? Like, is there a number? I'm going for it pretty much. Anything under 4th and 10, I feel like I'm going for it because I'm dumb, but I don't trust Jake Elliott. But what would a number be where you'd be like, all right, we have to kick, we can't go for it?
Well, the one thing is, you know, I know he missed a kick. Didn't he miss a kick in New Orleans this year?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're indoors. You're in the dome. I mean, you can't get any more sterile than inside the Mercedes.
I know.
Like, you know, if he's hooking kicks, like I'm watching him in pregame warm-up, and if he's hooking kicks, like to your point, I don't know what the down and distance is right now, but it might change depending on how he kicks in pregame. And I'm sure he's been over there during the week, kicking inside the dome if they're allowed in there with all the festivities they have setting up over there. But you got to get that hook out of that kick of his right now, because he's shanking way too many extra points and field goals. And forget about beyond 50. But yes, if you're at 4th and 4 at the 40, I don't want to give Mahomes good field position by not making it. But at the same time, you probably got to be aggressive and probably go for it at that point.
Yeah, it's wild, but this is now the game, right? The game now is you got to go for it. Even if it's 4th and 2, and the way the Eagles are a 4th down team with the tush push, with how they're built, that if it's 4th and 2 and inside, even in their own territory, they're going to go for it.
Yeah. Well, the game's evolving. You know, it used to be, remember, you'd be in no man's land at the opposition's 40. And it'd be, 4th and 4, you punt it, try to put them inside the 10. Almost nobody does that.
No.
I mean, those years, I don't think Belichick attempted a 50-yard field goal. You know, I mean, he played field position.
He did.
Now, I don't know if anybody, because if you look at just the Chiefs in these 2 games they played, Houston and Buffalo, they only have 15 possessions. You know, it used to be standard game was 12 possessions. And then it either went up a little bit or went down a little bit. But they've had a total of 15 possessions. And 2 of them were fueled by good returns, punt return and kickoff return. So it's not like they're getting the ball a lot. Now, Buffalo played, ball control. They ran it. Houston ran it well on them. If Philadelphia starts to run it on them, you might be down to 7 or 8 possessions.
Yeah.
Time, the clock. And so then what does Andy do? Does Andy start Because Andy's not really a big fourth down, go for it guy, but he might be if he's in that situation.
I'll tell you, it's funny. If I were them, I was saying this earlier, I would go tempo. Like, I would try to speed up the thing. Like, if I got a drive starter early, because I remember the Rams had a little success with tempo. If I'm Andy to switch things up and they try to gas that line, that's what I would play it.
You know, it's interesting because the Eagles ran the ball 725 times this year in 20 years. Only the 76 Raiders and only the 85 Bears ran it more.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
But with that, the Eagles defended the fewest amount of plays in the league. They defended 999 plays this year. The least amount in the NFL during the regular season, 999. And so, the defense was the most rested defense in the NFL.
Yes.
And so maybe your point here, Cuz, maybe they haven't had that, that up-tempo thing that can fatigue you. It can backfire because there's a guy that did Big 12 games for 10 years. I saw all the up-tempo offenses. And it was great when it worked.
Right.
And when it doesn't work, your defense is on the field.
Yeah.
And it's just turnaround. You gas your defense. I remember when Chip Kelly came, Chip played that game, and he gassed his defense.
Yep.
And they ended up defending more plays than anybody in the NFL. I think that first or second year.
Now, the only thing is, it's the Super Bowl, right? So it's a slower game. It's, a longer halftime. There's the commercial element of it. So, that piece of it, you should be able, and you're not in a place like Jacksonville where the weather can make you cramp. You're in an air-conditioned building. So, all that leads to freshness on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's sudden death here, so I don't think anybody's concerned about that aspect of it. But they haven't really faced teams that have gone up tempo on. Washington a little bit, they went no huddle, but they weren't going in up tempo.
Yeah, that was
They just did a sugar huddle.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, you're looking for different things. We're all looking to see what another team is going to do in this game and how they might change up. So it could be one of the things that we see.
What did you learn in New Orleans? Did you glean anything in New Orleans?
Well, the only thing that I gleaned is what I already knew, in that it is just the ultimate party town.
Yeah.
Like, there's a party in every single block. I walked to this little, diner yesterday morning for breakfast, and it's been there since 1965. It's right on the edge of the quarter. Like, literally just walking 3 blocks to the diner, there's 4 parties being set up. And the weather's great. The weather's fantastic. It's mid-70s. It's warm. You wear a T-shirt out there. You can party into the night. Nobody cares what's in your glass. What's in your, whatever you're smoking. Nobody cares. And then
now we're talking.
But they're so inviting.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's just, they're so warm and hospitable.
Yeah.
They know what you're there for.
Yeah.
They know you're there for a good time. And they're ready to serve you. There's no bad attitudes in New Orleans.
No, it's such a unique culture. It's almost European. It's like the most different culture in in North America. I always think like New Orleans and Montreal are like the most European of the cities that are here in North America.
Well, neither city shuts down.
Yeah.
They go all night.
Yeah.
So, if you've got that urge to drink a hurricane at 3 a.m.
Yeah, you got it.
Head over to O'Brien's. You can do it.
Yeah. Look, speaking of all the celebrities, look at this picture. Here's your boy Belichick. All right.
I saw that picture went viral.
Wait, the best Baldy is the rings. She's got the ring on, right?
Yeah.
And he's got the 3 other ones on his hand.
Dude, I think he had them on both hands. I think he had like 8 or 6 rings on or 7 rings on.
It's probably the only time in his life he's ever worn it. But he's blinged out. He's on the red carpet. He's enjoying life. He seems to have, enjoy the company. Like, God bless him, man. God bless him.
I agree, man. God bless him a million times, man. He's crazy. I love it. I love it. So, all right, you're flying to L.A. tomorrow?
I'm flying to LA tomorrow.
So what's your duties?
8.5-hour pregame show at the NFL Network. I mean, it's a cast of 1,000. But I'm doing. I think I'm doing 5 hits in the pregame show. One of them is a breakdown of Saquon. So I mean, it's good. It's a good opportunity for me. Work with all the guys. I'm on the set there. You have people, in New Orleans, reporters on the field. So we'll be going up to kickoff. We're there early. We stay late. Watch the game there. So it'll be good though. I'm looking forward to it.
So
I'll bring it down all day Monday.
Will you be on post game too? Will there be a post game deal for you too?
I don't know if they're gonna have me stick around for the post game or not.
Okay.
They told me that.
I can't wait, man. And so you'll watch it at their facility, at the network?
I'm going to watch it NFL Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, NFL Network out there in L.A. I'll watch everything right there.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Well, we'll be looking for you in the pregame. With the man who called it, right? Like, that's what it is. Dude, like, you broke this season down better than anybody. I don't want to hear about anybody else, any of all of these analysts and pontificators and insiders. Nobody broke it down like you all season long.
I mean, I might very well beat Humble Pie next week. Look, it's Mahomes, it's Andy.
No, that's not Humble Pie.
You got to go by. I did 18 radio shows yesterday. And one TV show, and so on every one, I just said, look. Just like I said, from the very beginning here, I thought the Eagles were the best team. I looked in the trenches, they're the best team in the trenches. I looked at the postseason setup and the schedule, I thought 4-0. I'm not changing. I mean, there's no reason to wait to change.
No.
You make the pick, you live with the pick.
Yeah.
You got me amped up. He says I'm too confident, but it's all because of you, Baldy. They rolled double-digit win.
Well, the only time you're too confident is when you put more money than you should on the game. That's when you're too confident. And I'm not advocating that.
I just don't want him to. Yesterday, he's talking the P word and, all kinds of routes. And, that makes me
I worry
squeamish.
about the snow's coming. What day?
That makes me squeamish. Like, you got to play the game. That's all. My brother, we love you, man. You're the greatest.
Thanks, I'll talk to you next week.
All right. There he is, the one, the only, Baldy. We are live at